Hello, my name's Shell and this is week 12 of my weight loss journey where I've been following the Weight Watchers Green Plan since the first week in January. I'm pleased to say this week I've had an excellent week on plan, which it wasn't what I was saying this time last week. Last week I put half a pound on and this week I'm hoping I've pulled it back. I don't seem to have lost an awful lot of weight, but I think the half pound, only putting half a pound on last week, I think I got away quite lightly. So this week I'm playing a little bit of catch up, I think. But I've had a really good week. I've stuck to my points. I get 30 a day and 28 for the week, so I have stayed with that. I think my biggest surprise this week has been how easy it was to get back on plan. This isn't the usual way of things for me because whenever I go off plan for a couple of days, if I go off completely, it's usually a nightmare to get back on plan, a real struggle. And the first day or two or three I find really difficult, and I find that I'm having to force myself to stay on, and it's almost a minute to minute thing to just keep going. But I found this time that the morning that I got up, I had 3 days off plan, the morning that I got up and decided to get back on plan, I was just happily on it completely. And I was wondering why that was. And I really think it's because with the Weight Watchers plan, you don't eat different foods. I'm convinced this is why it was so easy, because I didn't feel that I was stopping eating all the foods I wanted and going on a diet. I just felt I was going to be eating the same foods but cutting down, and I think that's made a huge difference. When I've gone back on plans before, for example when I was doing Slimming World, and you're talking about getting back on plan, you're talking about stopping eating a lot of the things that you want, and I found that the food was quite narrow as to what you were encouraged to eat, not made to eat, because they do say you can eat anything, but I would always feel guilty. Why are you having these nice luxurious burgers when you should be eating Linda McCartney sausages for free? Why are you eating any of these other nuggets when the Quorn nuggets are so low in sins? And the idea of having to, I found the idea of having to eat so much speed food stressful. After a few weeks you're thinking, how can I dress this speed food up to make it appetising? I was sick to death of having all these vegetables, and I used to find when I would approach to go back on plan, I'd be dreading it really, thinking, oh, back to the Linda McCartney sausages, back to the speed food. And I know our consultant always used to say, nobody in this room should be buying in sauce. You should always make your own sauce. You should never ever ever buy jars of sauce. And I used to always think, oh, it's a bit depressing that, because you can buy a jar of sauce and have, I don't know, maybe 6 sins out of the jar and really change vegetables into something nice. But she was dead against it, and I used to think, when I was getting back on plan, I used to think of all the things that I wasn't going to be eating now and get back on plan, get back to it. I think Slimming World is a lot about volume. How much food can you get down you for little calories? And I don't know whether that's a good thing, because when you look at people who are naturally slim, if you look at all your friends that are naturally slim, certainly all my friends, if they're having their tea, they don't have their tea and then think, right, I'm going to put 20 cauliflowers and 16 carrots and 3 cabbages on the side of this plate to bulk it up. They just don't do that. They cut the amount of food, they don't cut the amount of food down, they naturally eat a smaller amount of food. And that's what I want to get back to. I've been slim before. I was a naturally slim person up until I was 20, so I can remember what it's like to eat like a normal person. And when I used to eat and I was naturally slim, I didn't stuff myself full of food with no calories in. I made sure that I was just happy with a small or a normal proportion of food, and that's what I want to get back to. I want to get back to eating like a normal person with normal amounts of food, and that is why I'm convinced that this week I got back on track, because I did my shopping at the beginning of the week and I included all sorts of nice things that I like to eat, indulgent food, not just food that's just low in calories all the time. Anyway, that's my theory. I'm sticking with it. But it pleased me that it wasn't a struggle to get back on plan. It really wasn't. It was easy. I think a few days blowout is always going to be the thing for me every now and again, because I just still have that binging mentality which I've had for decades, and I don't know whether I'll be able to shake that off. But I don't think it's going to last very long, and I don't think it's going to do a lot of damage. So I was pleased to have a good week. New things this week we tried were these, which are absolutely delicious. I'll hold them up to you. I'm not sure if it's that way round or that way round. But these are called, which I think is a bad name actually, the company is called Buttermilk. I don't know, perhaps they do other things as well, but if I saw something on the shelf called Buttermilk, I wouldn't think it was vegan, but they are. And they're called Peanut Butter Crunch. And they are, they're you know, a mouthful. And they're so delicious. They're chocolatey on the outside and a thin little layer of biscuit, and then there's all this stuff on the top that's peanut, like a creamy caramelly peanut filling, that kind of peanut that's really strong roasted peanut flavour, and then chocolate on the top. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're 2 points each, and it's enough to have a couple of an evening. For 4 points is lovely. They're so tasty, and I highly recommend those. We have got as well a salted caramel version. We haven't tried those yet, so when I try them I'll let you know. Oh, but I hope they're as nice as these, because these are gorgeous. I think they'll be a staple. And the other thing we've got here to try this weekend, now hold those, if you can see sideways on there, 2 tubs stacked one on top of the other with a cardboard sleeve, and that's the cardboard sleeve. Must be that side, that side. And these are from Morrison's. They are, well, they said gluten free, which I think is because they've used oats on the top. They are apple crumbles. They're about the size of, I'd say, you know when you buy a normal tub of hummus, they're about that size. And I put them through the WW calculator and they come out at 13 points each, so they're pretty high. So I'm expecting them to be very luxurious. I hope so, so I'll let you know. We're going to have those, not tonight I don't think, probably have them tomorrow, maybe have some custard on. I'm not sure. With them being 13 points, I might have just a few spoonfuls of custard. You wouldn't need much with those because they're quite smallish. So I'm hoping they're going to be nice. So they're the only 2 new things we've tried this week. We went for our jabs yesterday, and so we had our first jabs, which I was very pleased to get out of the way because I wasn't really looking forward to it. A few of my friends had been not very well, but we've been fine. We haven't had any effects from it. I've got a sore arm. It's quite sore at the top where I had the injection, although Andy hasn't. His has been fine. He didn't feel the injection, whereas I did feel it at the time. It was quite painful when she did the injection, so whether she's gone through something a bit more sensitive in my arm, I don't know. But I haven't felt ill, and neither has Andy, so we're very pleased that we're both come through our first ones with flying colours. So, right, I should do the weigh-in, wake the scales up.
Hello.
Wait for it to have a think.
It's ready.
Okay.
11 stones. 5.4 pounds.
So 11.5.4. Last week I was 11.6.4. So I've lost a pound this week, which I'm really pleased about. I'm quite happy to lose half a pound, to be honest. Anything that's going downwards. But a pound is great. I only really lost that the last day or so. All week I've been on the scales because I weigh every morning. And every week I've got, every day I've got, bye. Every day I've got on the scales, and it just stayed the same all week. And so I thought I was in for a maintain. But just over the last day, it seems to have gone down a pound, so I'm pleased with that. Tonight for tea, I'm going to make, which I haven't made for, must be a year or 2, cauliflower cheese. We're going to have, we usually have Slimming World chips on a Friday. I have 250 grams, which is 10 points. So I'm going to make the cauliflower cheese, and I'm going to make the sauce really indulgent. I'm going to make a really thick creamy cheese sauce and put it in the oven, and I'm going to grate cheese over the top and put it back in the oven and get it all bubbly and golden brown on the top. It'll just be for me because Andy he doesn't like cauliflower, so it'll be all mine. And I'm looking at I got the idea for it a couple of days ago. You know, when you start thinking about something, you think, I haven't had that for ages, I'd love to have cauliflower cheese. So it's been on the cards for a couple of days, and tonight I'm going to make it. I don't think I'll be following a recipe. I think I'll just get some soy milk and some of the yeast flakes and garlic powder and whatnot, and put it in until it tastes nice. I'll pour that over the cauliflower and then just grate cheese all over the top and put it in the oven. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've been quite excited about it. So that's what we're having tonight. I don't know what we're going to have over the weekend. Next week, I'm going to do a week of what I've eaten in the day. I've been writing it down all week. I couldn't do it today because although I do a weigh-in, my weigh-in's always round about 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, my point week finishes on a Sunday night. So I've been keeping tally since Monday of what I've been eating and the points. And next week I'll go through it as to what I've eaten each day. But until then, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your weather's not going downhill like ours is. It's getting quite nasty out there now. It's windy. A lot of places up north have been forecast snow for next week, and winds and rain. So it's not going to be very nice. And next weekend it'll be Easter, I believe. I think the clocks go back this weekend. I think they do. Is it tomorrow night? I think the clocks go forward. Yeah, they go forward tomorrow night, and then the weekend after will be Easter. I've already eaten an Easter cream egg. I think we've got some more upstairs, just little ones, you know, the little tiny button eggs. I haven't tried one yet. So that's all from me this week. I hope everyone's had a good week. Let me know how you've been getting on in the comments below. I really love to follow how everybody's doing. And take care. I'll see you next week. Bye.